Hi all, this is Jan of the Jan Files. I hope you will follow me on YouTube, especially since I have a lot of research I've done about Epstein. So there's several videos in reference to that. Last week I actually asked that everybody call their called representatives, not their representatives, but the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee in reference to Epstein, because I specifically said that there were 3 personal assistants that were named in the non-prosecution agreement that should be brought to subpoena and brought to testify. I don't know if they still have immunity, how all of that works, but if they do, they should have no problem coming to testify, right? All 3, as I pointed out then, were named in the non-prosecution agreement that was entered into with Jeffrey Epstein in 2007. Well, it turns out, folks, that they actually may have been defendants prior to the non-prosecution agreement. They are named in the... Hold on, I'm getting it. Sorry. Here. So this is the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida. It says it's only draft, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, you'll see that there were more defendants here, right? United States of America versus Jeffrey Epstein, comma, and so there's likely 1, 2, 3, 4 more people in here. And the likelihood is because it says it below, although they still don't have the names there. The grand jury charges that, and this is the background, and it says at all times relevant to this indictment, defendant Jeffrey Epstein employed defendants. Okay, defendants, and then again it's redacted. Why? Because they were defendants. I don't know why they would redact it now. To perform, among other things, services as personal assistants. So those names again are Leslie Groff, Adriana Ross, Sarah Kellen, and Nadia Mashnikova, but she's actually disappeared. I don't think anybody knows where she is. At least the last time I looked, nobody knew where she was. But these women were there, and that was my point at the time. And so not only were they in that one document I showed you, hold on, sorry. I get too many of them. They're here. This is also from the charging document, and it says in law of the offenses charges. And here it says, second, Epstein and his assistants used a facility of interstate commerce to induce or entice minors to engage in prostitution and sexual activity for which any person can be charged in violation of whatever this code is, 18 USC, whatever. And these, and down here, it says, in those instances where Epstein and or the assistants knew the ages of the girl or had reason to know their ages, but willfully binding themselves to that knowledge, they can be charged with sex trafficking. So because we don't know the names, I can't do anything other than assume. And the women who were in the NPA got immunity not because they testified and got immunity. They got immunity because that was part of the deal that Jeffrey Epstein got. Sweet deal, huh? Also, what I found to date is there are many instances of things being redacted that shouldn't be. Lots of names of women who, here's one in case, this top one, her full name is here. They didn't redact her name at all. A victim. There was also a license, a fully unredacted license in the files. So this was either a group of incompetent idiots or they're deliberately skewing things for one reason or another, maybe so that when they actually skew something and we see that Donald Trump's name is there and they didn't cover it up, who knows? I don't know. Nobody knows at this point. We don't know if people are deliberately not redacting certain things. It's just there's no way to know. But this is like incompetence 101, right? So, and the other thing they did, there were lots of emails from men to Epstein, and they covered up the name of the man. And they're grotesque emails, of wanting and dealing and P-U-S-S-Y. I'm spelling because I don't know what YouTube will do. Here's one from, we don't know who it's from, to Epstein. Why don't we know who it's from? I don't know. Who are you protecting? This one says, all I need later is to bring redaction over and have her P-U-S-S-Y. Now, what's interesting, however, folks, is that there is somebody you might know. I mean, there are a lot of names you might know, obviously, Branson and Clinton and, Brett Ratner is also another one who just made that big-ass office bomb, Melania. And there are pictures of him from many, many years ago. So he's another person who should be called in to subpoena, to testify. But here's one. Because for whatever reason in this one, they actually used the man's name, and it's Peter Attia. And you see that they they redacted his email, not his name. Oh, good. You know what this email says? It's from Peter to Jeffrey. P-U-S-S-Y is indeed low carb. Still awaiting results on gluten content, though. This man is a health and wellness dude. You probably have seen him. Let me just get his picture that I have someplace. And he's actually supposedly, of course, CBS, as one of their new consultants. Here he is. Read him. Yeah, go check him out. I don't think a statement has come out from him. I'd love to see what he has to say about that email. A joke? Everything's a joke with all these guys. Oh, no. It was nothing. They were older women. It was not. No. And so, but there is also, Tiffany Doe, who we've all heard about. She signed an affidavit in 2016 saying that she was witnessed when the plaintiff, so I don't know who the plaintiff was threatened by Trump that she would be killed and her whole family killed. Is a signed affidavit by this woman. And which means under penalty of perjury. You can't just sign an affidavit and then say, oh, oops, I didn't tell the truth, because you'll go to jail. I mean, most of us will go to jail. Trump will pardon anybody else, but most of us will go to jail. So literally, there is a signed affidavit that said that. So I don't know what it's going to take. Clearly the Justice Department is not going to release anything else unless maybe a court forces them to. We're probably getting more than they meant to give us, only because they're so goddamn incompetent. But I'm going to tell you, folks, there is so much here. And 3 million things? What did I go through? A couple. And then I gathered some things from from Aaron Parnas. And I know there's more, and there's more. But this is the latest update. And that people are protecting this and protecting the men in this. I know the victims have already expressed their outrage about their names being out there when they weren't supposed to, in some cases, addresses. I mean, this is horrific. This is absolutely horrific what's happened to these, because they're being re-victimized by Trump and his idiots. And they're all culpable. They all should be prosecuted. And anybody participating in this should better be aware that they may also have to hire an attorney if they're actually doing something that is in violation of the law. So, folks, latest on Epstein, nothing. Clearly there's new things in there, and I'm hoping there's even more new things in there. And uh, it's a disgrace. It's absolutely disgrace the way this has been handled and what these women have had to go through. It's really clear how devalued we are, just how this society and this particular administration has devalued women and the Heritage Project. They all want us to go back into the kitchen and not vote. Literally, I could show you videos of that. That's not hyperbole. That is real. They don't care about women. They just see us as things to get pleasure from and to procreate. So, folks, that's today's update, January 31st. Let's see what happens tonight and tomorrow and the weekend. It's debilitating, but we will go forward and in honor of all those people in Minneapolis who are standing up for all of us. Thank you.